Hey everybody, I'm Jen with Stay Posh, and in today's video we're going to be looking at one of the cheapest RGB. Hey everyone, I'm Jen with Stay Posh, and in today's video we're doing lighting. We have a review of the TO RGB video light. In NAB this year, RGB lights were the rave. There are tons that have come out lately, and this might be the cheapest one that you can get on the market right now. I've got links below, and so today we're going to unbox it, take a look at it, test it a little bit, and just really get into the light at a first look rate. We are also giving away a light. Woo! It's the GVB Gear Light. I've done a review about this before. I'll put a link up above, and I'm going to let you know how you can win it. Let's do it. All right, here we have our RGB video light. On the box it has a little bit of information, and once you get inside there are these pamphlets here that give you more information, including the operation manual that has some features of the light, as well as just the instructions on how to use it on the back. So here the light is in itself. The larger lights are the white, and there are smaller RGB lights. It's made of a pretty thick plastic. That's where the battery goes. It's got an LCD screen here and a color and a white knob. And then it attaches with this GoPro attachment, and it has a cold shoe or a hot shoe, and then also a 1/4 right there for mounting as well. That's it. That's the basics. Just to compare it in size, this is a little aperture micro LED light. So it is going to be a little bit bigger than those pocket-sized lights. All right, so now that we have our light out of the box, we are going to go ahead and put some of these MPF batteries on the back so we can test this thing. Like I said in the unboxing before, it does not have any external power port. You have to power it with these batteries, and I'm going to put a link in the description below so you know exactly which batteries I recommend and to get, because there are quite a number of off-brands. So let's go ahead, let's charge this thing up and do some tests. Okay, so here we are, and we are ready to test this little guy. I don't know if you can see, but the display is not very bright. I actually kind of have to get low like that in order to actually see what the display says. So pros and cons. Con, obviously you can't see it. Pro is it might save a little bit of the battery life, and this light only runs off of battery, and so it's just something to keep in mind. You're not going to be able to use the wall power or power from an outlet with this light. So right now I've got the white on. I have it cranked all the way up. As you can see, I am dimming it down 50%, around 35%, 20%, and 20% actually is as low as this light will let you go. Just turning it off. I don't know if you can see my hand here, and then turning it back on. That's at 20%. All right, now we're back at 100%. So you do have to spin it, and it goes one by one, so that might take a second to spin up, but you do get to dial it in by a percentage point, and I always love the ability to dial in a light to a specific number that you can always return to. This display also has the battery life here, and then it also tells you the temperature of the light. And that is important because as I turn off the white, we're going to turn on the color. Oh, sorry. You always have to have the white on. That is the power button, as clearly labeled right here. But so now that you have that on, that's where you are allowed to turn the color on. And right now we have a red cast. So as you can see, the colors go through the spectrum as you are turning it through. There's no real way to say I want to dial in a little bit of red, or I want to dial in a little bit of green and use the RGB light that way. And I know a lot of the higher end RGB lights have it to where you can dial in the mix that you want of each color. However, this is clearly going through all the different mixes, and it does have a number that you can see on the LCD screen that is associated with that color, so it's not just a total guessing game. You can always add a little bit more in of a different color as you dial and spin through the spectrum. All right, so what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and turn these lights off just so we can see the full blast of color. I'm going to be spinning the dial and we'll just take a look at that entire spectrum without any other lights infiltrating what we're seeing. Let's do it. As always, these lights are spaced 1 meter from the background. That's our way of measuring the luminosity. And so if you're curious how this would compare in brightness or how much the luminosity rating of this light looks, this would be it at 1 meter. I'll go ahead and be a subject in front here so you can kind of see how well it's lighting me. And I'll definitely put my exposure for this section down below. All right, let's dial through those colors.
You might be the one that truly got me. I feel it too. You might be the one that truly got me. I feel it too.
All right, so now that we've seen what this light can do on its own, I want to go ahead and compare it to a light that's not in this room right now. Good job, Jen. All right, I am back. Luna left, but I brought the light. It is just a cheap $10 or $15 submergible RGB light. Comes with this remote where you can turn it on and off. It has a variety of different colors you can choose from, and then you can also change the brightness, and it has a few little strobing features with the light. But this is not a video light, this is a toy. We're just gonna see how it compares. For those that are on a super budget, is there a way you can get around having to spend 50 bucks if you can just spend 10 to add that little pop of color or creativity into your shot? So let's take a little bit of a closer look at this thing and then we'll compare them. All right, so here's our two LED lights. You can see they're pretty small in size in comparison to our bicolor. It comes with a remote. For the remote, it has an on and off switch. It has all these different colors that you can select to change what LED color you're gonna get. Inside, it takes 3 AAA batteries. Little rubbery ring is also there to keep water out if you're gonna submerge them. And then on this one, we've already got those batteries in. We're actually only gonna be testing the one light today, not both of the LEDs. Back to the remote, it's got an on and an off switch. You can turn the brightness up and down with the 2 white on top, and then these gray on the side is how you do the strobing effects. All right, I've added a little bit of light back on me, but now what I want to do is go ahead and test this light in comparison to this weird little submergible LED light that was $10 on Amazon. Like always, I'm going to put a link to this light and to this in the description below. And just a quick note, I bought all of this stuff with my own money. No one paid me to do this review, and no one gave me any products to do this review. So let's go ahead and do the test. Unlike this light, this cannot be turned on without the remote. It takes one of those little watch batteries, and this takes AAAs. So just looking at the red there, turning this on, what we're gonna do is try to compare color by color. So let's go ahead and hit the red. And I mean, it is just, it's nothing. Let's see if there's a way I can turn this guy up. Let's see, it does have a little bit of a brightness. Oh, no, it is at full power. Let's just click a bunch to make sure. Yep, that is it at full power. Oh, green, okay, that's a little bit brighter. The blue is a bit brighter, that makes sense. These are just the different color options that we're cycling through. I mean, we're really looking at a huge color brightness difference, not color, but a huge brightness difference in the light. So I feel like it's safe to say, let's turn this main back on, get a little bit more light. I would say it's safe to say that this is just not going to work if you're doing a studio lighting situation. I could see throwing these in to do a little fun pop, just as like a toy. But if you're really truly trying to add color into your shots, add mood using RGB lighting, this is probably the cheapest route, and I'm gonna go ahead and recommend it just to get your foot in the door, or if you're just looking for a low budget solution. Obviously, the more expensive lights you get, the brighter the lights are gonna be, the more function options that you're going to have, the more customizable. It's kind of where I was looking for. The more customizable the light is going to be. And so, but just for 50 bucks, yeah. So obviously, if you're using one of these color RGB lights in your studio setup, you can add color in, and you can be really dramatic with it, as in put your subject right in front of the color. You can use it as a fill, you can use it as a main, you can turn off all the lights and just have that one saturated color. But you know, you can also use these RGB lights as a way to just add a little bit of creativity and dynamics into your shots. So it doesn't have to be the main feature. So for example, what you can do is just lower this down and maybe make it a little bit of a background color. So, you know, put it behind your subject and add a little bit of life onto the backdrop. If you have a set and you've got some objects in the background, you can hide it in there and have a little glow coming out. There's all different ways that you can diversify the lighting that you can do. All right, and that is going to conclude our review of the Tarion RGB light. I hope you found this review helpful if you are considering getting an RGB light. I thought for the money, it was totally a value light. It had brightness that you could dial in the color, and I just love that as a feature because that means that you can set back up lighting and know exactly what specific number to set things at. If you have a preference that you like, ooh, that one specific color at 293, you always know you can go to that. It's not going to be a guessing game, and I just love that as a feature that lights sometimes have. So just to let you know, I bought this with my own money. No one's paying me to say any of this, but I thought that this was a great entry point for the RGB options in video lighting. As for this like little gadget, this little submergible, if you are going super low budget, I could totally see a use for this. I'm going to be doing a video very soon in the future talking about sort of like a little on-the-go night kit, and you may just see this little guy in there. And so I'd probably go with this light if you have the money, but you know, there's gels, something like this. There are just so many ways you can really just low budget, get a little pop of color, add some different lighting into your setup, and it's just always about being creative and testing new things out. So I hope this helped you make a decision about whether this is the right light for you. On to the giveaway. The good people at GVB did give me this light so I could give it to you as a thank you for watching the channel. I've done a review on this light before. I'll go ahead and link it up here in the top. So if you haven't seen that yet, definitely go and check it out. And if you are interested in owning this light for free, definitely go ahead and check out the Gleam link below. That's the giveaway. I'm gonna run it for about a month, and so there should be about another video or two in between this and the announcement. But if you are interested in getting a little free video action, this is how you can do it. There you go. This light is rechargeable. It's small and compact. It fits in your back pocket. It's really bright, lasts over an hour. And I feel like this type of light and this GVB is a great addition to your lighting kit and a nice sort of quick tool to have in a pinch. So thank you again so much for watching. I hope this video helped you pick lights. I hope that you are the winner out there of this GVB by signing up below for the contest. And just so, thank you so much for watching. I am Jen with Stay Posh, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
You might be the one that truly got me.